The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
You want another piece of toast, dear? Dear? Aunt Effie, tap his newspaper, will you?
Mm-hmm. Huh? What?
Your wife would like to communicate with you.
Oh, hi.
Good morning. Would you like another piece of toast?
Yeah, fine, darling. Fine. No, I don't want any more toast. I'd like some more coffee. You got any?
Yes, plenty. You know what I'm going to do today, dear? Address our Christmas card.
And I'm going to help her.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, darling. Yes, fine.
What is so fascinating in the paper?
The situation in Washington. You know, if you girls would read something besides the society column, you'd know what's going on in the world. It's one of the troubles with women. You get so you live in your own narrow little world of housework. You ought to keep up on things more.
You know, one of these days I'm not going to do any housework, any cooking, washing, ironing, or taking care of the children. I'm going to sit around catching up on world affairs. And then when he gets home at night, Aunt Effie, instead of saying dull things like, I washed clothes today, I'll say, well, I've spent the day analyzing the North African situation, and here is what I think. Would you like that better, dear? Dear?
Oh, you've lost him already.
I guess so.
What'd you say, darling?
Oh, nothing. More coffee, Aunt Effie?
Is there enough?
Yeah, sure, here. Oh, I feel so smug that for once I bought our Christmas cards early. Of course, I am sorry. I forgot you were selling them this year, Aunt Effie.
Well, we won't go into all that again.
Well, you know we are just always so late, and I thought for once I'd get them on time. Surprising they arrived so soon, though.
Well, they aren't rushed right now. Plenty of time to print names.
Yes, but my goodness, you don't have to help me address them today.
Oh, it's much easier when there's two working at it. And I gather this gentleman on my right isn't much help anyhow.
Him? He never helps address cards. Maybe 5 cards, and then he's all worn out, you know.
Now, what? What is it? You laughing at my expense? What's so funny, huh?
Oh, read your paper.
I read it.
Listen, on your way downtown, stop at the post office and mail that sweater to your mother. She left it here and wants it back. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I wrapped it and it's on the hall table. Hear me?
Huh?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, yes, darling. Yes.
You heard him now, didn't you, Aunt Effie? And I'll bet you nickel he doesn't mail it.
Say, what's Saturday to you? A day for work around the house and garden, or a day for lazy hours in the sun? Well, either way, you can add an extra dimension of pleasure to Saturday by having your radio with you and keeping the dial set right at CBS Radio. 3 delightful programs bring you laughter, music, all sorts of variety during the morning hours. There's the Galen Drake Show, for one, presided over by that amiable storyteller, Galen Drake, whose anecdotes have a way of being amusing, perceptive, and memorable all at the same time. Along with the anecdotes, you'll also hear songs by Stu Foster and Louise O'Brien. There's plenty of song, too, on the Robert Q. Lewis Show, sprinkled in just the right proportions among the ad-libs and the wisecracks for which Robert Q. has become famous. And then enjoy another kind of comedy altogether with Amos and Andy and the Kingfish when they open up their music hall Saturday to bring you the best record of the week, along with more of their comic misadventures. You can hear Galen Drake, Robert Q. Lewis, and the Amos and Andy Music Hall Saturday over most of these same stations.
Getting my Christmas cards all addressed in August. I can't believe it. Every year I think, oh, the poor post office. This year I will do it. But Christmas Eve I'm frantically doing the last ones every year.
Well, I just finished counting. We've addressed 165.
Really? Oh, 100. Goodness, our list gets bigger and bigger.
Now, why don't I stop addressing and start putting them in the envelopes and sealing them?
Oh, fine. That's a good idea, Aunt Effie. Listen, in the desk is a sponge. Just wet that and run the envelope flap over it, you know.
All right. And what about stamps?
Well, you won't believe it, but I even bought stamps.
Well, you are turning over a new leaf.
Well, I just made up my mind, that's all.
Somebody's coming up the front walk. Huh? Oh, it's that Barbara Smith who was over the other night.
Yeah. Hi, Barb. Come on in. Never guess what I'm doing.
I don't see any sponge in the desk.
Middle drawer. It's in a little glass right there, right in this middle part there.
Hi, just stopped at Harry's mother's to leave some fresh eggs, and, well, I thought I'd see what you're up to. Oh, for heaven's sake.
Kind of a mess, huh? Christmas cards.
Oh, don't mention them.
You didn't stop back the other night with your husband. You were going to have him look at those lovely handmade cards I'm selling this year.
Well, yes, but, well, we just had to get home.
Oh.
We live out in the country, you know, and, well, Harry gets up so early to do a few things around the place. But I will buy a few from you. We don't send out many. Oh, I finally gave up, really, with 3 children. Just all got too much for me.
Barb, Miriam Mercer, didn't she move to Florida?
Yes, uh-huh.
I don't have her new address.
Well, I think I've got it. I'll look it up when I get home. In fact, I thought maybe you might all like to drive out to the farm this afternoon. It's cooler out there.
Oh.
And Betsy can go for a swim with my kids.
Gee, I'd love to, and I'd like Aunt Effie to see your place, but
Yeah.
I'm determined to finish these, Barb. The fact is I'm almost through. The rest of these are mostly business, and I'll just turn them over to Miss Winters down at his office and let her do those.
Then really, we just have the sealing and stamping to do.
Well, let me help you.
Oh, Barbara, you don't have to do this. My
Sure,
goodness.
sure, then we'll get through. Oh, I'm very good at sealing and stamping letters. Used to work in an office.
Well, let's see. It's 20 after 1 now. The baby will be awake again about 2.
Well, that's fine. You give him his bottle, and then we'll all pile in the car and drive out. Hey,
What?
have you named him yet?
No, they haven't.
It's really getting embarrassing.
Oh, don't I know. You know, when we had our 3rd baby, it was 3 months before we could decide on a name.
No, really?
Yes, 3 months. Oh, we looked up names in the phone books. We asked all our friends, and we just could not decide.
Well, now, let's see. Your last one was a girl. That's,
Well, what did you finally decide on?
Well, you won't believe it. After 3 months,
What'd you name her?
Mary.
That's right. That's right. Couldn't think, of course, Mary's the 3rd one.
Oh, people would stop us on the street and say, well, what did you finally decide on? Oh, and we felt so silly saying, Mary.
I should think so. It's very funny. Like us, after all this, I suppose we'll decide on John or Robert.
Oh. Well, you finish the addressing.
I'll seal you on.
Then I'll put on the stamp.
Well, you're both wonderful to help.
And listen, after all this, don't do what we did one year.
What was that?
Well, the one year that we got our cards addressed early,
Yeah.
we put them in boxes on the closet shelf, ready to be mailed the first week in December.
Yes.
Well, we never gave them another thought, and we found them still sitting there in February.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I will put them in shoe boxes and put them on our closet shelf right in front with a big sign then that says, "Don't forget to mail."
Well, you'll need the sign. I noticed he did not mail the sweater to his mother this morning.
What did I tell you? Men.
Come on, let's all hurry. It'll
Yes.
be wonderful to drive out in the country this afternoon.
Okay, Charlie, come on in. I got to get my golf clubs, and I want to change my clothes anyway.
Well, okay. Hey, where's the family?
Oh, golly, I don't know. Seem to have all disappeared.
It looks like a note on the mantel.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Drove out to the country with Barbara Smith. In case you get home before we get back. P.S. By the way, no one could ever accuse you of having a memory like an elephant. Your loving wife.
What'd you do, forget something?
I suppose so. I don't know. I got no idea what it is.
You know, the trouble is women talk so darn much. They babble on and on. They throw in little comments you don't hear, you know?
Yeah, I
You
know.
know, like Madge, she'll be saying something to me and I'm half listening, you know?
Yeah.
Like she'll be saying, well, I went shopping today and I couldn't find a thing at Decker's, so went over to the department store. And by the way, I bumped into Pauline, whose mother has just had a terrible operation, and I found the cutest little cotton dress, etc., etc.
Yeah, I know.
And then, later, she'll say to me, Pauline's mother is much better. And I'll say, why? Has she been sick? And then Madge screams at me. I told you 2 weeks ago her mother had an operation.
Yeah, I know, Charlie, all too well.
Come on, change your clothes. Let's get going. Oh, you better leave a note that you're out at the golf course.
Yeah, well, good idea. Fact is, why don't we eat out there, and then she doesn't need to wait dinner for me.
Yeah.
Good idea?
Yeah, good. Can't stay too late. I'm pretty busy these days with my new career.
Yeah, well, you may have some competition there, boy. I'm going to do a little writing myself.
Yeah, well, you better get at it. Only one way to write. Sit down and do it.
Oh, I will. You wait and see.
Well, go on, change your clothes. I'll get out your golf clubs. Where are they?
I do, yeah, they're in the front closet there. Well, give me a pencil, will you? I'll write a note where... Oh, never mind. Here's one on the... Tell her where I'll be. Huh? What?
Come here. 2 boxes of letters on the closet shelf and a big sign, don't forget to mail.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't see that this morning.
Boy, how could you miss it?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't go into the closet. I didn't wear a hat today, you know. By golly, she did tell me something that just comes to me. I was reading the paper at the breakfast table, and in the back of my mind, she did, she said mail something.
All right, go on, get your clothes changed. I'll put the golf clubs in the car, and this stuff to be mailed, and we can mail them out at the golf club, huh?
Oh, no. I don't know when things get picked up out there. Better not take any chances. We'll go around by the branch post office and make sure they get mailed today.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
put them in the car. Now, you get going.
All right.
Get your clothes changed if we're going to get in 18 holes before it's dark. Oh, and listen. When you get home, Don't tell her you mailed her letters. Yeah, wait till she says, why didn't you mail them? And you can just say casually, I don't know what you're talking about, dear. Just go look in the closet.
Yeah, for once I'll have the jump on her, huh? Boy, will she be surprised.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. Cannon thundered and rockets flared over the barricades in the Battle of New Orleans, and Andrew Jackson won a great victory for the United States. There is only one thing askew with that victory. A month before, United States and British envoys in Europe had signed a treaty ending the war. 2,000 men died at New Orleans because they didn't know that their countries were at peace. That, of course, was in 1815, when news traveled by sailing ship. Today, if a shot is fired in the Middle East, Lowell Thomas has the whole story for you by dinner time. If a conference is held in Europe, a CBS News correspondent tells you of its highlights on the World News Roundup within hours. Next time you listen to CBS News dynamic coverage, give a thought to what a privileged generation we are to have the excitement of shortwave on-the-spot reports on the World News Roundup with our breakfast coffee, the clear, incisive reporting of Lowell Thomas in the evenings. Start this week to hear the World News Roundup and Lowell Thomas regularly. Both programs are heard Monday through Friday on CBS Radio over most of these same stations.
And there he comes, in the back door. Are you going to say something?
No. I think I'll just let him ask me what the postscript on my note meant. Leave the package with a sweater right on the hall table until he notices
hi,
it.
anybody home?
Hi, dear.
Oh, hi. Did you get my note? Hope you didn't wait dinner.
No,
You didn't?
No,
No.
we didn't wait, Have a nice golf game?
Huh? Oh, marvelous.
Did you?
Yeah, for once. Well, kids both asleep.
Uh-huh. What are you smiling at?
What are you both smiling at? Huh?
I know something you don't know.
Yeah, well, I know something you don't know. And I can tell you don't know from the smug way you're smiling.
You don't even know what I'm referring to.
Oh, yes, I do. I can see that you have not looked in the hall closet, madam.
Well, I don't know anything about the hall closet, sir, but I can see the hall table from here, and there it is. It was not mailed.
Oh, what?
The sweater
What wasn't mailed?
The sweater your mother left here.
She asked you at the table this morning. I heard her. She said, please stop at the post office and mail the sweater.
And we had a nickel bet that you'd forget, dear.
And you did.
I stopped at the post office on my way to the club tonight. I mailed the stuff on the closet shelf.
You did what?
Oh,
you did.
Get out of the way. Look in the closet, dear. He
What?
didn't.
He did.
Oh.
What is the matter with you two? Well, there's a big sign that said, don't forget to mail. What is she trying to say, will
She
you?
is trying to say you mailed your Christmas cards.
Your Christmas... Oh, my gosh. You don't... Well, look, I didn't know. How come they're all done? This is August. Nobody said anything to me about Christmas cards. There was a great big sign that said, don't forget to mail, right?
What did you think they were?
I don't know what I thought. I didn't even look at the darn things in the box. It said, don't forget...
Didn't you even wonder how or why I might have written 200 letters? He has never once mailed even one letter the day I asked him to mail it. Now he mails 200 Christmas cards in August.
All right. Now, look, quit staring at me, will you, the two of you? There was a big sign. It said, don't forget to mail. Well, anyhow, we're early this year. Well, that's what you wanted. We're early.
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce with Margaret Hamilton, Augusta Daphne, and Don Briggs, and is produced by Walter Hart. This is Stuart Metz inviting you to listen again tomorrow for The Couple Next Door.